Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Martial Universe based on novel. So let's start. Just as the entire mysterious Black Yin mountain range descended into chaos, Lin Dong was in dire straits as well. After heading into the mysterious Black Yin crevice, he finally understood why this area stood as the final resting spot for various elite practitioners. Streams of Earth Terminus cold chi swept forth from every direction, and every stream of Earth Terminus cold chi was just as powerful as a manifestation practitioner's attack. As they violently collided, the resultant turbulence was even more terrifying. The protective Yuan power undulated on Lin Dong's body was only able to shield him against 3 streams of Earth Terminus cold chi before they thoroughly dissipated. Then, Earth Terminus cold chi slammed onto his body, just like a penetrating high-grade soul treasure, as it directly left blood trails on Lin Dong's body. In mere minutes, his body was covered with fresh blood. Little Flame flapped its bloody wings as it desperately tried to protect Lin Dong. Even though its body was filled with blood-like scales, numerous sparks continuously sparked forth, while its terrifying growl spread out in darkness. Little Flame. When he saw Little Flame being torn away by that turbulence, Lin Dong's eyes were about to tear. However, before he could head over, another wave of turbulence hit him. Then, the mysterious earth armor on his body was finally unable to hold on any further, as it exploded with a bang. Countless bloody wounds were scattered across his body, as Lin Dong vomited out another mouthful of blood. Against that unstoppable Earth Terminus cold chi turbulence, his sense finally begun to slip. However, just as Lin Dong's consciousness was about to slip into darkness, a peculiar buzzing sound suddenly echoed out. Then, a warm milky white glow slowly emerged from within his palm, before it transformed into a glowing cocoon and wrapped around his body. Though that cocoon seemed weak, even the Earth Terminus cold chi turbulence that manifestation stage practitioners could not withstand, only caused the glowing cocoon to gently vibrate. Under the protection of the glowing cocoon, Lin Dong's body slowly descended before he eventually disappeared into that never-ending abyss. When Lin Dong once again opened his eyes, the world in front of his eyes was not pitch black as before, while a gentle white glowing halo surrounded his body. That seemingly fragile, glowing halo gave off an indestructible feel. Are you awake? When Lin Dong opened his eyes, a figure flashed and appeared in front of him. It was little Martin. Lin Dong nodded his head as his body wiggled lethargically. This time, it seems like he had suffered quite severe injuries, both internal and external ones. His body was covered with layers of bloody wounds, and it made him look extremely wretched. This must be the middle of mysterious Black Yin crevice. When he heard Lin Dong's question, little Martin helplessly waved its paws before it said, "Did you think that you would be fortunate enough to escape from this impasse easily?" Lin Dong laughed bitterly. Currently, he was in quite a dangerous situation. Even if he chose not to enter mysterious Black Yin crevice, he would end up in the hands of the ghastly puppet cult. In that case, he would be in dire straits as well. At the very least, he was still alive right now. The Earth Terminus cold chi has disappeared. Lin Dong's eyes twinkled. Then, he suddenly realized that he stood on solid ground, and he was no longer free-falling. Meanwhile, surrounding him, the terrifying Earth Terminus cold chi turbulence has disappeared. Immediately, he exclaimed in surprise. This happens to be a calm zone inside the mysterious Black Yin crevice, and it allows one to avoid the turbulence. However, once we leave this area, we will probably be dead. Little Martin took a look at Lin Dong's palm, before he said, "It's all thanks to the power of the mysterious stone talisman. Else, you would have already been torn into shreds by that Earth Terminus cold chi." Lin Dong gripped his palm. This mysterious stone talisman was indeed mysterious, and it was indeed quite powerful. Unfortunately, based on his current strength, he was unable to fully utilize it, right, Little Flame? Suddenly, as if Lin Dong recalled something, his facial expression instantly changed. He remembered that in the middle of mysterious Black Yin crevice, he was separated from Little Flame during the turbulence. Since he had the protection of mysterious stone talisman, he was still safe for now. However, Little Flame, don't worry. Little Flame is a demonic beast, and it had inherited the power of the primordial blood bat dragon's bloodline. In this impasse, its odds of survival is probably higher than yours. When he saw Lin Dong's expression change, Little Martin comforted him. If something happens to Little Flame, I will make sure that ghastly puppet cult bleed an entire river. Lin Dong's eyes were grim, while a potent killing intent slowly extended from within his words. When he heard his words, Lin Dong also nodded his head. When he thought of the devouring ancestral symbol in his possession, even though he was in danger, he was unable to contain the excitement in his heart. After paying such a huge price, he had finally managed to obtain the devouring ancestral symbol. With this plan in mind, Lin Dong chose not to hesitate anymore. Immediately, he sat down on the ground, before he closed his eyes. Then, a short while later, he closed his eyes before he once again opened them, while his face was slightly pained. The Yuan power in this domain is too chilly and I am unable to absorb it directly. As he stared at Little Martin's bewildered expression, Lin Dong tightly furrowed his eyebrows and said, "If he cannot absorb the Yuan power in this domain, then he wouldn't be able to train." This was extremely bad news for him, especially since he was in this mysterious black yin crevice, which was filled with danger. I forgot about this point. Little Martin waved its claws, before it turned silent for a moment. Then, it suddenly extended his claws, while it dug out the Qianquan bag inside Lin Dong's sleeves. Then, it waved its claws before it directly took out 20,000 pure yuan pills that were inside. Just as Little Martin spoke, its claws danced as those 20,000 pure yuan pills swiftly spread out. Then, they formed into a giant glowing formation in front of Lin Dong, while potent yuan power flooded forth with a hula-la sound, mysterious tempering yuan formation. When that glowing formation materialized, Lin Dong instantly realized that the earth terminus cold qi in his surrounding domain had gradually weakened. It seems like this formation was indeed quite effective. Thankfully you brought along several pure yuan pills. Else, we will not be able to temper the yuan power in this domain. Traces of yuan power glow continuously descended from the middle of that giant formation. Little Martin basked in the glow and felt extremely comfortable. In this pitch-black area, with light around, it helped one to calm down. Lin Dong smiled. With Little Martin at his side, it had truly been of great help. Even though the latter was not as powerful as during its peak, its experience was extremely beneficial for him. After the giant formation materialized, Lin Dong chose not to hesitate anymore, before he once again sat down. Then, he activated his secret skills and began to rapidly absorb the yuan power that had been tempered by the giant formation. Layers of bloody shackles dropped off Lin Dong's body. All the hideous wounds caused by the earth terminus cold qi slowly began to recover. At the same time, the benefits of having a powerful physical body was beginning to show itself. At least, in terms of recovery speed, even a manifestation stage practitioner could not be compared to Lin Dong. He silently cultivated for nearly 5 hours, before Lin Dong once again opened his eyes. A bright glow shimmered in his eyes, while potent yuan power ballooned around his body. Faintly, it seems like he had actually reached the pinnacle of initial qi creation stage. As he sensed the potent yuan power building up inside his body, Lin Dong gently smiled. With his strength back, he finally felt safe again. Especially since he was in a danger zone, he did not know what dangerous situation may suddenly occur. "Kid, since you have recovered, then extract the devouring ancestral symbol." "Haha, this devouring ancestral symbol has been lost for several years. I never expected that it will appear in this small Great Yang dynasty." When he saw Lin Dong recover, Little Martin flashed over as it hurriedly spoke. When he heard his words, Lin Dong smiled, before he promptly flipped his palm. Then, that black symbol once again appeared in the middle of his palm, before streaks of glowing light violently shot out from within the black symbol and crisscrossed together. Finally, a glowing black ball appeared in front of Lin Dong. A glowing black ball silently hovered, while several black threads were deeply woven within. Just as Lin Dong quietly stared at it, he could also see a black hole, like ancient symbol quietly hovering in the deepest region of that black glowing ball, just like a sleeping dragon. Lin Dong stared fervently at that black glowing ball, before he slowly extended his palm. However, just before his palm touched the black glowing ball, that black-eyed elder phantasm once again appeared on that glowing ball. Then, a coarse emotionless voice echoed out, "Without obtaining the necessary permission, you have no affinity with this symbol." When he saw this situation, Lin Dong gently smiled before he humbly bowed at that phantasm. Then, he waved his palm, before a light beam instantly shot out from within that black symbol and shone on that phantasm. Under the glow of that light beam, that black-eyed elder phantom actually begun to dim. An intelligent glow actually flowed into his originally hollow eyes. In that instant, it seems like that phantasm possessed intelligence. Ancestral symbols were materialized by the heavens, hence one has the duty to protect the world. The heir of the ancestral symbol must remember your duty. When a catastrophe arrives, you must protect the world. That black-eye elder's eyes stared right at Lin Dong's body, before its coarse voice slowly sounded out. A catastrophe. Lin Dong was slightly taken aback. Promptly, disbelief surfaced in his heart. Right now, even a ghastly puppet cult could force him into such dire straits, and he could not even protect himself. Therefore, the idea of protecting the world seems a little far-fetched to him. Lin Dong stared solemnly at that devouring ancestral symbol. Right now, there were no movements coming from that ancestral symbol. It seemed like it was still asleep. However, amidst this silence, Lin Dong could still feel that the destiny soul symbols inside his Niwen palace were still vibrating continuously, while a fearful sensation emerged from within. Lin Dong's destiny soul symbols were originally derived from the devouring ancestral symbol. Now that they have encountered the original body, it was natural for them to experience such emotions. Is that the legendary devouring ancestral symbol? It is indeed extremely magical. Little Martin continuously sized up that devouring ancestral symbol, while its eyes were filled with curiosity. What should we do next? Lin Dong rubbed his hands and asked quietly. Refine it and attain its approval. Little Martin stared at Lin Dong, before its eyes suddenly turned solemn as it said, if you can really refine the devouring ancestral symbol, then your future potential will be limitless. However, let me warn you first, refining the devouring ancestral symbol is filled with countless dangers as well. Furthermore, that devouring ancestral symbol is extremely dangerous. If you are not careful, it will swallow your mental energy, and you will never be able to recover. As Little Martin stared at him solemnly, Lin Dong silently nodded his head. His eyes focused at that black hole like devouring ancestral symbol. Moments later, he suddenly sucked in a deep breath, before he softly said, even though it is difficult, now is not the time to give up. In order to obtain this devouring ancestral symbol, I had already put in much effort. Now that I have finally obtained it, even if it is only a slim shot, I will not give up. Little Martin silently nodded his head, before its claws pointed at that devouring ancestral symbol and said, if you truly not fearful of it, then put your mental energy into it. If you can obtain its approval, then you will be able to safely leave. Of course, if you fail to obtain its approval, then you will be devoured by that devouring ancestral symbol and become a trace of its energy contained within, while your mind will be scattered across the world. Lin Dong's eyes concentrated on that devouring ancestral symbol. The latter was slowly squirming while it mutated into various black hole structures. Its darkness was incomparable compared to the darkness in the mysterious black yin crevice. At the very least, in this area, some light could still bloom. However, inside the devouring ancestral symbol, even light could not exist. To take the initiative and put one's mental energy into that maniacal darkness, that courage was not something that everyone possesses. As if it could sense Lin Dong's arrival, that originally silent devouring ancestral symbol actually began to slowly swell. Meanwhile, its body began to grow rapidly. In a blink of an eye, that devouring ancestral symbol directly transformed into a black hole. That black hole was not large, yet it was terrifying beyond words. Even when light was shone within, it instantly disappeared, just like it was being directly swallowed. That object was completely out of this world, and it could devour anything. The devouring ability emerging from within that black hole was not too vigorous. However, the mysterious black yin crevice instantly started to turn chaotic, while countless earth terminus cold chi manically swept forth. However, when these earth terminus cold chi, that was powerful enough to brutalize any manifestation stage practitioner, came within 1,000-meter radius of that black hole, it instantly turned gentle, before it continuously streamed into that black hole. Little Martin stood below the devouring ancestral symbol. Its devouring ability did not include it as well. Therefore, it could safely lift its head and observe the sight, before it involuntarily shook its head. Thankfully, they were in the mysterious black yin crevice. Else, if they were outside, It would surely invoke an earth-shattering natural phenomena, and countless elite practitioners will surely snoop by. In fact, even elite practitioner outside of Great Yang Dynasty would sense it. Just as that black hole materialized, Lin Dong's mental energy was directly swallowed by it. The instant Lin Dong's mental energy went into that devouring ancestral symbol, Lin Dong's body completely froze, while his face was calm. Then, he shut his eyes, just like a statue. In the darkness, after panicking initially, Lin Dong began to gradually calm down. This environment was enough to drive any ordinary person insane. However, he clearly understood that at this juncture, it was more crucial for him to remain calm. Else, he would be stuck in this darkness forever, and he would never be able to escape. That torment he would experience then would be even more terrifying than death. If one could obtain the approval of the devouring ancestral symbol, one would have the potential to become a powerful legendary practitioner. However, before attaining its approval, one would have to undergo trials and tribulations that most ordinary individuals cannot endure. Lin Dong silently walked through the darkness tirelessly, step by step. In the darkness, he must endure the darkness and endure the silence. In the darkness, time slowly passed, almost 100 years. A figure slowly walked in the darkness. His footsteps was always the same, without a millimeter in difference. He seemed to have forgot about himself, forgot about the darkness, forgot about everything. As I walk in the darkness, I have learned the truth about devouring. After devouring, nothing remains. In the darkness, this thought stealthily spread out. That figure, which had walked on endlessly, actually began to slow down. The instant that figure slowed down, suddenly, amidst that never-ending darkness, a glow suddenly extended from behind that figure before it finally reached its feet. Based on this sight, it seems like as long as he turned around and stepped onto that light, he could finally break free of this never-ending darkness. That light stopped on that figure's feet, before he lowered his head and stared at that light, which he had not seen for a while. Light suddenly flowed into his hollow eyes. Then, a calm gentle smile suddenly appeared on his lethargic youthful face. The way is in your heart. All of the various illusion are all fake. Devouring ancestral symbol, I have left your dark world. That figure gently smiled. Contained within the tone of his voice, was actually an aura of great change. However, he did not turn around and walk towards the light, instead he courageously headed towards the darkness. A world of darkness that was so silent it was terrifying, without wind or any movement. But to Lin Dong, it was undoubtedly even more treacherous than challenging 1,000 ghastly puppet cults. If he knew that the devouring ancestral symbol test would actually be so frightening, perhaps, Lin Dong would truly start to hesitate before he entered. This had been a trial of willpower. Lin Dong let out a long sigh, lowering his head to look only to be slightly taken aback. He had discovered that his body had actually become much more solid than before. What had entered the devouring ancestral symbol was not Lin Dong's physical body, but his mental energy. Moreover, Lin Dong clearly remembered that when he had just entered the ancestral symbol, his mental energy was only able to barely take human shape, and had been exceptionally faint and illusionary. Yet, this mental energy now gave of a solid and real feel and looked no different than his physical body. Even some middle-level soul symbol masters could not achieve such solid mental energy, yet Lin Dong had relied on his low-level soul symbol master mental energy to successfully condense it. Although my mental energy has not grown by a lot, it has become tougher and more real than before. Shock filled Lin Dong's face. Though his mental energy had not increased, the level of Lin Dong's current mental energy was undoubtedly enough to outclass all middle-level soul symbol masters. After examining himself for a while, Lin Dong finally cast all his attention towards the slowly wiggling ancient symbol to his front. As he concentrated, Lin Dong discovered that there was a faintly discernible figure on the symbol which did not seem to have a fixed shape. It fluctuated from time to time, and when he vaguely saw the figure transform into the Black Eye Elder, Lin Dong realized that the devouring ancestral symbol spirit seemed to change into its owner's shape after being refined. The current devouring ancestral symbol was in a masterless state after the death of the Black Eye Elder, thus, it did not have a clear shape or appearance. Lin Dong stood before the devouring ancestral symbol and respectfully bowed towards it. This kind of ancient existence was worthy of a respectful attitude. As the devouring ancestral symbol submerged into Lin Dong's head, wave after wave of formidable devouring power immediately exploded around his body. As these waves spread outwards, countless enormous black holes suddenly appeared in the starry space. As the black holes swallowed everything, the stars and land crumbled, an instantaneous and frightening change. Lin Dong sat in the middle of the countless black holes, allowing the black holes to destroy and the stars to rise and fall, while his body did not make even the slightest bit of movement. When the symbol spirit of the devouring ancestral symbol saw this, its hand waved as its body swiftly faded, transforming into a small flash of light, and entering Lin Dong's body. Bang! The instant it entered Lin Dong's body, an earth-shattering change started in Lin Dong's Niwen Palace. The Give Destiny Soul symbols originally floating in his Niwen Palace completely crumbled in an instant, transforming into pure mental energy, which whizzed about the Niwen Palace, at the spot where the Destiny Soul symbols crumbled, a black hole slowly appeared as a terrifying devouring power spread outwards. Moreover, after experiencing the tempering of the world of darkness, Lin Dong was confident that he would be able to perfectly control this rapidly increasing mental energy. With these layers of confidence, there was naturally nothing to be alarmed about for Lin Dong. He quietly sat in the empty space, devouring the powerful mental energy that gushed from all directions. Under this devouring, a powerful mental energy slowly spread out from Lin Dong's body. In the dark mysterious black yin crevice, in a zone without any wind, night light pearls were embedded in the surrounding stone walls, emitting gentle light, which enveloped this area, causing the place to appear rather dazzling in contrast to the darkness of the mysterious black yin crevice. Under the gentle halo of light, a figure silently sat like an old monk, not moving even in the slightest. The figure's body was covered in dust. Evidently, this meditative state had been maintained a rather long period of time. To the front of the figure, a heart-palpitating black hole slowly spun in mid-air. Wave after wave of faint devouring power spread out, and anything within 10 meters of it would be devoured in an instant. In the silence, a helpless sigh suddenly echoed out. A tiny body floated near the figure, turning out to be little Martin, and very evidently, the old monk-like figure would naturally be Lin Dong. The little Martin at this moment was extremely helplessly looking at Lin Dong's body. This shell was already as cold as ice, and even no longer possessed breathing. This state was completely one of false death. God damn it, this fellow has been inside for over half a year. Has he still not passed the devouring ancestral symbol test? Little Martin scratched its head in distress, its eyes full of worry. Ever since Lin Dong had entered the devouring ancestral symbol, there had been no news for over half a year, and no strange movement within the black hole before him. This resulted in little Martin not knowing whether the current Lin Dong was dead or alive. Furthermore, although the black hole was before its eyes, little Martin did not dare to charge in. It clearly understood that if it entered, it would likely never exit ever again. This crappy ancestral symbol is actually so unorthodox. Little Martin furiously cursed, but as it struggled, the devouring power from the black hole grew stronger and stronger. In the end, it was directly pulled into the air as it shot towards the black hole. As it stared at the increasingly nearer black hole, little Martin could not help but curse loudly, its high-pitched shriek echoing across the windless land. The helpless cursing was obviously useless, hence, while little Martin stared at the black hole that was almost within reach, a trace of despair finally surfaced in its eyes as it loudly roared, "Damn it, Lin Dong, Grandpa Martin is coming to keep you company such that even in death you will have no grievances, bang." However, just as little Martin's roar sounded out, a foot emerged from the black hole and kicked its body, directly kicking it away. The sudden change caused little Martin to be momentarily taken aback. However, as it stared at the increasingly further black hole, it sighed in relief. Soon after, it suddenly regained its wits as it delightfully stared at the figure that was walking out of the black hole. "Lin Dong. You're still alive." The thing that had walked out from the black hole was naturally Lin Dong's mental energy. He glanced at little Martin, the corners of his lips turning upwards as he replied, "You jinx, don't jinx me." Little Martin joyfully stared at Lin Dong, suddenly realizing that the devouring power from the black hole seemed to have no effect on Lin Dong. Immediately, it was stunned, but seemed to have understood something as it looked towards the latter in astonishment. You've succeeded." Lin Dong chuckled and flipped his hand as the black hole rapidly shrunk, before finally being swallowed into his body. Only then did he clap his hands, beaming as he spoke. "I've managed to obtain the recognition of the symbol spirit by some fluke chance." Compared to before he entered the black hole, the might of Lin Dong's current mental energy, and his degree of control over it had changed too much. My mental energy now should have barely reached the high-level soul symbol master level. Lin Dong's hands were behind his back. With a single thought, the stone mountain was catapulted out of the dark mysterious black yin crevice. In the end, it was torn to pieces by the ferocious earth terminus cold chi. High-level soul symbol master. Upon hearing this, shock surfaced in little Martin's eyes. Mental energy growth was already very difficult, but in this short half a year, Lin Dong had directly leapt from a low-level soul symbol master to a high-level soul symbol master. Moreover, with little Martin's ability, it would naturally tell that not only was Lin Dong not the least bit uncomfortable with this power, he instead appeared to be rather skillful with it. Evidently, he had obtained extremely huge benefits this time while refining the devouring ancestral symbol. How long have I spent closed off? Lin Dong's eyes turned towards his body, and could not help but be a little taken aback at the dust as he inquired, "About half a year." Little Martin spread out its claws and responded. Lin Dong silently nodded his head. This was more or less what he had expected. In over half a year, the achievements he had obtained was rather good, at least. Just raising his mental energy to the high-level soul symbol master level was something even he could not accomplish in a half a year with regular training. Let me first return to my body. Lin Dong's mind moved as his mental energy body swiftly dissipated, transforming vigorous mental energy that swiftly poured into the body seated on the ground. As the mental energy returned to the body, the eyes which had been tightly shut for over half a year suddenly opened. Vigorous yuan power instantly erupted from Lin Dong's body, completely scattering all the dust. Crack crack. Lin Dong gently twisted his body, as crisp cracking sounds instantly emitted from his bones and a faint sense of weakness spread out. Lin Dong did not mind this weak feeling. His mind moved as vigorous yuan power gushed out from his dantian like a tide. It flowed in his channels, and instantly, overflowing power filled Lin Dong's entire body. My yuan power has not increased by much over the past half a year. As he felt the level of yuan power stored in his dantian, Lin Dong's eyebrows lightly furrowed. As the devouring power burst out, the countless berserk earth terminus cold chi within the mysterious black yin crevice appeared to have been attracted as they furiously flew towards Lin Dong. In the face of such power, even an advanced manifestation stage practitioner's face would lose all color. However, when Lin Dong saw this, the smile on his face grew increasingly wider. In his eyes, the earth terminus cold chi had now become the best tonic to strengthen his yuan power. Inside the mysterious black yin crevice, countless streams of earth terminus cold chi howled, just like numerous dark large pythons. While he was being wrapped by countless earth terminus cold chi, a figure hovered above. Behind him, a black hole slowly extended. At the same time, an extremely powerful devouring force slowly emerged from within that black hole. Little Martin stared at Lin Dong, who was being completely wrapped by earth terminus cold chi, while shock flashed across its eyes. It was keenly aware of just how vicious the earth terminus cold chi in the mysterious black yin crevice was. In fact, even an advanced manifestation stage practitioner could not withstand an onslaught of such a large amount of earth terminus cold chi. When they first entered the mysterious black yin crevice, Lin Dong had nearly died due to those earth terminus cold chi. However, right now, he actually dared to directly draw this amount of earth terminus cold chi. Streams of earth terminus cold chi continuously flowed into the black hole, while Lin Dong's robes continuously rattled. Promptly, he released a hearty laugh, while his laughter was just like thunder as it ricocheted across the mysterious black yin crevice. Boom boom. Just as Lin Dong's laughter ended, the black hole surrounding him actually began to slowly expand. Instantly, the devouring force extending from within grew increasingly stronger. That black hole squirmed, just like it was the most terrifying object in the no universe. The entire mysterious black yin crevice instantly began to rage, as countless earth terminus cold chi came swarming in from every direction, before they were directly devoured by that black hole and transformed into potent energy source that coursed through Lin Dong's body. Based on the current scene, it seems like right now, Lin Dong was a glutton with a bottomless appetite. Regardless of how much earth terminus cold chi streamed in, he was never satisfied. In the past, even if Lin Dong had reached high-grade symbol master, he would not dare to act in such an arrogant fashion in the mysterious black yin crevice, not to mention devouring the earth terminus cold chi, that will cause anyone to shudder in fear, just like it was a tonic. The attacking potential of the devouring ancestral symbol does not seem as powerful as the flame ancestral symbol that I have encountered before. However, its devouring ability is exceptionally domineering. Utilizing it to boost your cultivation is definitely ideal. A tinge of envy flowed across little Martin's eyes. Even though right now, Lin Dong was unable to fully utilize the abilities of the devouring ancestral symbol, as he slowly progressed, the devouring ancestral symbol would only become stronger, until eventually, he would be able to completely bring out its potential. At that time, with a breath alone, Lin Dong could probably devour all the earth terminus cold chi in this mysterious black yin crevice. At that stage, he would truly be able to dominate the entire world. Inside the mysterious black yin crevice, the yuan power between heaven and earth continuously raged. Furthermore, the source of the commotion was from Lin Dong, who was deep within the crevice. Thankfully, he was located in the mysterious black yin crevice, or else, such an earth-shattering commotion would surely draw many people to snoop by and Lin Dong would not be able to train in peace. Streams of black large python-esque earth terminus cold chi continuously gushed into the squirming black hole, before they eventually turned into potent yuan power inside Lin Dong's body. Little Martin also nodded its head. This opportunity was simply too precious for Lin Dong to give up. With this idea in mind, in the following 2 months, Lin Dong once again displayed his maniacal training potential. Every day was spent inside the mysterious black yin crevice. Meanwhile, the black hole slowly grew as it manically swallowed streams of earth terminus cold chi inside the crevice. At the same time, Lin Dong could enjoy the pleasant sensation as his body was being refined by that cold energy. As he tirelessly trained, an aura inside the mysterious black yin crevice was growing increasingly powerful day after day. After completely devouring the earth terminus cold chi in the area, a bright light glimmered in Lin Dong's eyes. Traces of cold chi diffused out from the pores all over his body, like a layer of cold chi armor which looked extremely hard. Lin Dong spit out a ball of white chi, feeling the inside of his dantian as his eyebrows furrowed, still no signs of a breakthrough. Even since he had successfully took control of the devouring ancestral symbol, Lin Dong had spent 2 whole months in the mysterious black yin crevice devouring the earth terminus cold chi. The effects of these 2 months of cultivation could be said to be extremely bountiful. It had directly allowed Lin Dong to leap from the initial chi creation stage to the peak of the advanced stage. Half a year ago, he had been forced to escape into the mysterious black yin crevice by Ting Sho, narrowly escaping death. If it was not for the devouring ancestral symbol, the current him would likely be unable to leave the mysterious black yin crevice. Thus, the grudge between both parties had already reached the level where they could not live under the same sky. When he leaves the mysterious black yin crevice, Lin Dong would definitely once again charge into ghastly puppet cult and make Ting Sho pay his debts in blood. To do this, Lin Dong needed absolute power, because what he needed to face was not Ting Sho alone, but the entire ghastly puppet cult. Hence, just the power of a high-level soul symbol master was still not enough. Therefore, he needed to break through to the manifestation stage. The speed at which you're absorbing the earth terminus cold chi is too fast, plus, the yuan power in your body is already nearing saturation. If you want to progress a step further, you need an even greater stimulus. Little Martin appeared on Lin Dong's shoulder and said. Moreover, given Lin Dong's current strength, it was enough to kill an initial manifestation stage practitioner even without relying on Little Martin. With the duo's combined force, even if they encountered a practitioner on the level of Ting Sho, they would be able to fight, and would no longer be forced to sorrowfully flee like half a year before. When it heard Lin Dong say so, Little Martin had nothing more to say. Now that Lin Dong had become much stronger, when they joined hands, even if there was danger in the depths of the mysterious black yin crevice, a full retreat should still be possible. Upon seeing Little Martin had no objections, Lin Dong's body moved, golden yuan power enveloping his body as he directly transformed into a flash of golden light that streaked across the darkness and flew towards the depths of the mysterious black yin crevice. At this moment, the enormous figure crept on the ground. Looking at its body, it was actually a black demon spider that's several tens of meters large. This demon spider had about 10 blade-like claws and there were 8 sinister black eyes on its head, eyes filled with extreme savageness and ferocity, 8-eye earth devil spider. Gazing at this demonic beast, Lin Dong's expression slightly trembled with fear. This brute was an extremely powerful demonic beast, just its aura alone was able to compare to an initial manifestation stage practitioner. It was likely not to be outdone even by the ancient dragon ape. The demonic beast in the depths of this mysterious black yin crevice is indeed powerful. Little Martin was evidently somewhat astonished, but soon after, it chuckled and said, "Leave it to me, you go devour the earth terminus cold chi." The earth terminus cold chi here was several times richer than above, and every portion of cold chi was like an enormous dragon. In the face of such cold chi, even an advanced manifestation stage practitioner would undoubtedly die, but Lin Dong was able to rely on the devouring ancestral symbol power to barbarically devour. Devil ape transformation. A low roar sounded out from Lin Dong's throat as his body instantly swelled. An enormous devil ape phantasm appeared around his body and frantically absorbed portion after portion of terrible earth terminus cold chi. Boom boom. As the enormous dragon-like earth terminus cold chi poured into his body, Lin Dong's aura, which had originally stopped at the advanced chi creation stage, once again slowly started to grow. Although this growth was tiny, if this continued, he would truly be able to step through the entrance of the manifestation stage and advance to manifestation. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.